Good evening, kids, parents, chess teachers. In this lesson for beginners, we are going to talk about king and a pawn against king. So this is the first position that we'll study. The black pawn goes this way and, of course, wants to become a queen. And here, white can make a draw. Now, what we have to do is keep your king in front of the black king or in front of the pawn. So we play this move, right? Don't go sideways, don't go backwards, right? Just stay in front of the king. We cannot allow the black king to go forward, right? Let's say pawn check. Where do we go? In front of the pawn, right? Again, don't go sideways, don't go backwards. Yes, you can still make a draw in this case, but the right way to do it is stay in front of the pawn and then be pulled back here to e4. Look, it's possible to go to f4 and d4. In this case, you can still make a draw, but learn the right way. King e4. If the black king goes to f6, we don't go sideways. We stay in front of the king. And again, in front of the pawn. Where do we go right now? E3, D3, or F3? We go back to E3, right? King goes this way. We stay in front of the king. You see, the black king cannot go forward, and that's why we can make a draw. Pawn check, we go in front of the pawn. And here, king E2, pawn goes forward here. We go in front of the pawn. And now it's very important, right? If you play king f1 or king d1, you are going to lose the game. I'm going to show you that. We have to play king e1. This is the only move that gives us a draw. So king goes to d3. We go in front of the king and in front of the pawn, and game is a stalemate, right? Now, what happens if we play this move? Let's say king d1 or king f1. We're going to lose the game because right now we have to give up the opposition. We play this move, and now pawn is becoming a queen. See, the next move, queen. So what we've learned from chapter 1 is that we have to stay in front of the black king, so we cannot allow black king to go forward. Let's see the chapter 2. Right here, if it's black to move, black is going to win the game, right? Not by pushing the pawn, but by moving the king in front of the pawn. So we have this rule: when the king is in front of the pawn, like on third rank, it always wins, right? Right now, it doesn't matter is it white to move or black to move. The black is going to win the game. So remember this: if the king is in front of the pawn on the third rank, and of course, when you are white, the king on sixth rank, right? You are going to win the game. So look, what is my choice here with the white side? Let's say I play king f1, and now you play king d2, and you support your pawn. Look, pawn is becoming queen. Or let's say I play king d1, you go to the other side, and you support, right? And you are going to win the game. So again, in this case, if you are black, you don't play this move. This move is a draw, but you play king e3. King in front of the pawn on the third rank is always going to win. Let's see the chapter 3. Here, let's say the black pawn is going this way. Well, black can win the game right now because black king can go forward, right? You move your king forward. Look at that. You play this move. Don't push the pawn. Don't push the pawn. That's very important. You go with the king. And now you can push the pawn. Look, we have the opposition. White stopped the black king. But with this move, white has to give up this opposition, right? I have to play to d3 or f3, and then you go with your king forward. And then again, this move, right? Let's say I'm here, you go with your king forward. And you know the rule. When the king gets to the third rank in front of the pawn, you always win, right? So let's see one more time this position. You can win also different way. Let's say play this move and play here, right? Again, you play pawn to e6 and you move your king forward. Let's see the chapter 4, right? Here, in this case, the game is a draw. So those rules that we just learned do not apply if you have a pawn on the rook file. So if the pawn is on the A file or H file, then those rules don't apply. So for instance here, if it's black to move and black plays king in front of the pawn on terrain, it's not going to work because you don't have a space. Like you cannot play this move to support your pawn. So the game is going to be a stalemate. Here you cannot win. So remember, when the pawn is on rook file, then the game is a draw. Let's see the chapter 5, right? What do we do here? This pawn wants to become a queen, right? So how do we make a draw? If your king can get to f1, then you make a draw, right? Let's say pawn goes forward, we stay in front of the king. And again, the game draw. Look, stalemate. Or if the king plays this move, still we can make a draw. Now we don't allow this king to get out. Like look here, we can play this move, right? And if he plays here, well, the game is going to be a draw. We're not going to allow him to get out. Game stalemate, right? So let's see the chapter number 6. Well, how do we support this pawn? Like we already know, if our white king can go forward, then we can support the pawn. So going this way is not going to work, right? We have to go from the other side. So let's say we play this move. Look, black king is now in front of our king. We cannot move forward. We cannot support the pawn. So what we do here is we play king c2, and then we play king b3, and we support the pawn from the other side, right? So look, we play king c4. We go forward, right? King c5, right? And we know if we get to the 6th rank, we are winning the game. Now, it doesn't matter who is to move, white, black, it doesn't matter where the pawn is. You simply push the pawn forward like this, push the pawn forward, and with this move, you are supporting your pawn, and it's becoming queen. Let's see chapter 7. Here, it's white to move. How do we can win this game, but we have to play the accurate move, right? We can go forward with a king, but the question is, where do we go? To d3 or e3, c3, right? We go to d3. And when the king goes in front of the pawn here, now look, fortunately, our pawn is not an e3, otherwise that would be a draw. We play king e3, right? We take this opposition, and now the king is allowed to go forward. And again, we have the same strategy. King goes forward, right? Look, like that. And here we can push the pawn forward. Look, we can push, and we already know here we can play this move. King in front of the pawn on the 6th rank always wins. And this move, and we support pawn. Let's see chapter 8, right? In this case, this move is not going to work. So what do? We take the opposition, right? This is called vertical opposition. We take the opposition, and now we can go forward with the king. See, we move the king. King is the only one that can win this game, right? Forward with the king, right? And we know if you get to the 6th rank, we are winning the game. Okay, kids, this was the lesson on king and a pawn against the king. Please set up those positions, practice them. I'll put the link of this study under the video, so you can play those positions on your own. I would suggest set them up on the chessboard, on a real chessboard, and play them with the chess clock, right? With your chess teachers or with the mom and dad. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.